I'm not gonna lie to you guys, donuts, in my opinion, are the hardest dessert to make high protein, low calorie that still tastes good. But that doesn't mean that I wasn't gonna attempt it. It's been a while since I've made protein donuts, and I truly feel like these are the best ones I've ever made. Hi, if you're new here, I'm Amanda, aka Fit Food AE, and today we're gonna be making 3 high protein, low calorie versions of your favorite donuts. So let's get started, shall we? So first off is a chocolate glazed donut. These clock in at just over 100 calories each, and they're absolutely delicious. Honestly, super easy to make. They just kind of have your standard ingredients. The differences that I did this time versus the other times I've made protein donuts are that I added the Jello pudding mix just to make them more moist, and I also added a bit of light margarine because I found that when I used to make protein donuts a few years ago, they looked quite dry, and I don't want them to be dry, but I didn't mind adding a few extra calories just to make the recipe up to par to what I wanted it to be. As you can see, my Lean Treats cookbook is in the background. It has 50 high protein, low calorie desserts to help you reach your fitness goals. So if you want to purchase that, the link is in the description. Anyway, back to these donuts. So this silicone donut mold, I'm going to put it in my Amazon store and the link to that is in the description. But yeah, these are super cheap. They come in like packs of 3. Be sure to spray the mold with cooking spray, and then when I put the donut batter in, I put it in kind of messy at first and then I sort of smooth it out at the end. Feel free to wet the back of the spoon because that will make it easier. And then don't overbake them. Bake it for the time that it says. Honestly, err on the side of caution. So you're going to use Lakanto monk fruit or Swerve monk fruit and then add a little bit of almond milk to it. Don't go too crazy. By the way, it's 0 calories, so I just put like a random amount that I thought I needed, and then you could always add more or you could throw the rest out. Again, it's 0 calories, so it doesn't really matter. So I just dunk them like this. Don't like over dunk them. You don't want them to be too full of the monk fruit because then they're going to taste a bit too artificially. But yeah, just give them a bit of a dunk. You could also dunk the sides if you want, but I kind of just did the tops. And then let them cool. Let them cool, and then they have this like little crinkly effect that the Tim Hortons donuts have, and they look so, so good. Just look at these. Wow. I love how they have like the crinkly white tops, and then when you bite into them, it's like so chocolatey and sweet. Again, this really reminds me of like the Tim Hortons chocolate glazed donuts, and they're a good portion size too. Now, if you make a batch of 6 and let's say you only eat a couple of them and you want to save the rest for later for another day, I'd recommend storing them in the fridge and then maybe like 30 minutes or so before you want to eat them, just take them out and then let them get to room temperature, or you can air fry them for a couple of minutes at 350. Next up, we've got cinnamon sugar donuts. These are actually my favorite of the 3, I think. I know I usually put my favorite first, but I like changed my mind about the favorite one. So these kind of taste like the Tiny Tom donuts, except like the ones from the fair, except they're not tiny, which is great. So yeah, I wanted to use snickerdoodle protein for this recipe, but I didn't have any, so I just used regular vanilla and added some cinnamon. But I use PEScience protein for all these recipes. It's a whey casein blend, which is great for baking. If you want to purchase from PEScience, please use my discount code FIT15 or the link in the description. So I'm going to use a different silicone donut mold this time. This one's red. By the way, if you do just use regular whey protein for these recipes, please comment down below. Let me know how they turned out. I'm pretty sure they should be fine. I know lots of people have tested my recipes with just whey and it turns out fine. But yeah, just let the people know in the comments. Same here, kind of just use the back of a wet spoon to spread it out. If it's a little bit messy, it's totally fine. And then when you put them in the oven, make sure to not overbake them. Also, when you're putting the silicone donut mold in and taking it out of the oven, be sure to be super careful. So I just mixed some monk fruit, like 0 calorie sugar substitute with a little bit of cinnamon, like a pinch of it. And then I just sprayed the donuts with a tiny bit of cooking spray and then just dunk it in like that, like dunk in the top. And then if you want to put a bit of the sides, it's cool too. You could also use like unsweetened almond milk instead of the cooking spray. But again, the cooking spray is just like a little tiny, like quarter-second spritz. So doesn't really add calories, should be fine. But yeah, look at how good these look. The first time I made these, I actually made the mistake of adding too much cinnamon to the monk fruit kind of dip thingy, and the color just didn't turn out the way I liked it. And I put too much monk fruit and they ended up being like too sweet. So yeah, that's my other suggestion, is just like do a small dunk and like make sure they don't turn out too sweet or like too cinnamon tasting. But yeah, these are really, really good. They're so moist and they taste exactly like the fair donuts. They are absolutely delicious. I will stand by this though, that like donuts are the hardest dessert to make high protein, low calorie that still tastes good, because typically donuts are fried, right? But obviously I'm not going to fry them in oil. So they do taste more cakey. Like they're definitely a cakey donut, but they're still delicious. Lastly, guys, we've got an apple fritter. So traditionally, apple fritters are my favorite donuts. I absolutely love them, but they have like probably 500 or 600 calories per donut. Like they are the highest calorie donuts that I've seen. So this version has about 180 calories per donut, which is way more reasonable considering that they're large. By the way, guys, I use this like shallow bowl because my other bowl was dirty and I didn't have time to put in the dishwasher, but I really should use a bigger bowl. But you're gonna mix the dry ingredients with the diced apples. By the way, I peeled them the best of my ability, and then you're gonna add the wet ingredients slowly. So you're gonna add the light margarine. I forgot to add the pudding mix the first time, that's why I added it with the wet ingredients. But yeah, it's gonna be a bit hard to knead this, guys. So you're gonna do it first with a spoon, and then you're gonna have to use your hands. Dough is gonna be kind of sticky, but once you knead through it, like just give it some time, and then it's gonna look like this, which is perfect. And then you're gonna put them in sort of like blob shapes, 6 of them. And then what you're gonna do is kind of shape them to be like claws. Do you know what I mean? Like the apple fritters I've seen, they're like a claw shape, similar to like bear paws, which is super random. But honestly, guys, this doesn't have to be perfect. Like just make them kind of claw shape, blob sort of things. If you want, you could make them into different shapes, but I just want it to be more authentic. So we're actually going to air fry these, which is different than the other two donuts because we baked the other two. But these ones are going to air fry. So I put it in for about 12 minutes at 350. You don't want to put it too high, otherwise it's going to burn on the outside. But yeah, you're gonna mix powdered monk fruit with a bit of the almond milk. Again, I put 60 in there. I think I might have used less than that, but it's 0 calories. It doesn't really matter. It's up to your preference. Just make sure to not make it too runny. Like just add the almond milk slowly. Make sure to let the donuts cool, by the way. I forgot to mention that in the other two recipes. But yeah, before adding like the glaze or the monk fruit, make sure to let the donuts cool. So you're gonna do both sides. Just do a little dunk like that. Don't overdo it, otherwise it's gonna be too sickly sweet. So you're gonna do that. I kind of, the sides also, I use this little brush to brush the sides because I realized the sides weren't really dunked in there, but I mean, this is just optional. I kind of like this little pastry brush. It's really cute. So you're just going to do that, and then you're going to let the glaze cool, again, similar to the chocolate donuts. And then once they've cooled, they're going to turn out like this. They look so good. They literally look exactly like the apple fritters you get at like bakery or like 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven, I know it's random, but they actually have really good donuts, okay? And yeah, the macros are really good considering it's a large donut. You get serving of fruit, you know, apples, and it's just great. And I like how the inside is moist as well. We don't want dry donuts over here. Comment below and tell me your favorite kind of donut. Maybe I will make a part 2 since I only made 3 donuts in this video. I wanted to leave room for error because I was like, hey, I only have so much time to film this week. And I knew that I would screw up like at least one of these donuts, which I did. So yeah, these are the 3 that I came up with for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then I'm sure you're looking for more dessert recipes. So I'll link another video here that you should watch next. And please be sure to give this a like, subscribe, and share with your friends, as it really helps the channel, and I post new videos every week. And with that, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.